Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Alex and this is your 5th episode of Popular Pulse. Thanks everyone for an amazing week which I had. I was actually down a couple of days with a pretty bad cold, but seeing my latest videos resonate so well with you helped my health enormously. Alright, just a quick reminder here, the joy I have in educating you and bringing you news and helping you guys learn everything about EVs and spreading the message about a sustainable future is really what helps me drive this channel and what helps me, get back in front of the camera and hopefully deliver meaningful and helpful content to all of you. So yeah, super psyched, and it's surreal how much energy this gives me. Anyway, let's get into the results for our last question, which we asked last Sunday. And again, we have 2 answers to the question: how long is your average pit stop during a long road trip? So out of the 5 answer choices, 1 was answered with the less than 5 minutes, and the other person answered between 5 and 10 minutes. Now that's not an awfully lot. And here we see again why high power chargers and a high power charging infrastructure is so critical to the success of electric cars. Last week I published a video about the Ionity chargers, which are some high power chargers we have here in Germany and other parts of the world, especially other parts of Europe. It's in German language, the video, and it shows you guys the charge speed of the Kia e-Niro, which I got to test drive with my dad, and also the e-Golf and Hyundai Ioniq, which happened to just show up at the Ionity Supercharger, right? Because Tesla superchargers. Anyway, and yeah, so if you're interested in that, check it out. And even if you don't speak German, it should be easy enough to read the numbers of the charge speeds. So these cars are really great, all of them. But the maximum charge speed that you can get is around 75 kilowatts on the e-Niro, for example. And that means that in 10 minutes, you get roughly 12.5 kilowatt hours if everything works well. Right? In the video, you can see that at the beginning, I wasn't charging at that speed with my father, and that's because the battery wasn't warm enough. And that's not something you like. It's kind of the cold gate. So anyway, that equals, those 12.5 kilowatt hours equal roughly 100 kilometers or 60 miles on a car like the e-Niro if you drive it carefully. But if you don't drive it carefully, if it's winter and you need even more energy to heat the cabin and such, it might only be 60 kilometers, so that's about 40 miles or so. So that's not quite enough to go on a long road trip and just have that short 10-minute stop as you guys answered. Now compare that to Tesla's, and the most recent Model 3 gives you on a high power charger, at least the video that I saw, 125 kilowatts. That was actually not a video, I think it was a post on Electric or something. Anyway, you can find it if you Google Tesla Model 3 125 kilowatt charging. And that results in roughly 20.8, so roughly 21 kilowatt hours in a 10-minute stop, which on the Model 3 can give you as much as 150 kilometers or roughly 90 to 95, 96 miles if you drive somewhat carefully, and it will give you in any case pretty much the 100 Ks you got with the other car. Good, we're getting there, but not perfect yet. And let's see how much we can get with the new Tesla version 3 superchargers, which are bound to happen anytime now, and we should see some updates on that soon. And the other high voltage cars, the 800 volt battery systems, which are used, for example, by the Porsche Taycan. So super excited for those, and we'll see how fast you can get away from the charger with one of those. All right. In the light of the upcoming Model 3 delivery, which will hopefully happen next week if everything goes on as it is going on right now. So if everything, if everything works out well, there are no delays, no, either parts on my side or on Tesla's side. It will happen on Friday. And let's set a question relating to this. So given the Model 3's performance, range, and features, how much are you willing to pay for it? or how much would you be willing to pay for it if you're not really buying it. And we're talking about the Model 3, and this is important, with the long-range battery giving you around 310 miles or over just around 500 kilometers on a single charge. Even more if you take, some different test standards, whatever. It's given more than 500 kilometers of range here in Germany, but just stick with 500, 310 mile, 500 kilometers. That's about reasonable. Since we're talking about the Tesla Model 3 with the premium interior, since that's the only one that's currently available, meaning premium sound system, meaning the vegan leather seats, all seats are heated, all 5 of them are heated, the glass roof and everything that just comes with the Model 3. To answer, you can click the pop-up card, which appears in your top right-hand corner of the screen right now. And these are your options, all in either US dollars or euro. Doesn't really matter, since in Germany, for example, the value-added tax is already included in the price, and in other countries it isn't, like in the US. So just click the option that works in your local currency, and that should give us all a more meaningful kind of insight into how much people are willing to pay for it. And if your option is not in the list, or if you want to clarify, or if you're like, I'm really not interested in the Model 3 with the premium stuff, just want the bare bone 35K version, but I wish it wouldn't be 35K. I wish it was like I'd be willing to pay more for it or less. So if you have any additional insights, just leave a comment, and I'll be sure to work through these. And if they're helpful for everyone, I will make sure to include them in next week's episode. So your 5 options for this week's question. Once again, given the Model 3's performance, range, and features, how much would you be willing to pay for it, or are you willing to pay for it? Answer choice number 1, below 35,000. Number 2, between 35 and 45,000. Number 3, between 45 and 55,000. You can see where I'm going with this. Number 4, between 55 and 65,000. And number 5, over 65,000. Again, leave a comment if you want to specify your answer a little bit further. And that's it for this week. I hope everyone has a great start into your next week. See you next Sunday, hopefully already with the Model 3. And make sure to subscribe. Bye.